Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You're looking at the Strv 1030, the Tier 9 Swedish S-Tank, which is located on the west spawn of Studzianki under the command of pacifichero45. Now this replay is from some time ago. He was wondering if it could actually still get done because he lost it, but he still wanted to see the replay, and well, this is it. We keep all our clients, or at least we keep as many as we can, even with the mods on, so that you can get to watch them later on. He's watching that M41 Bulldog down there, and the BZ176, so he might be able to get some nice shots on them. Well, he thought that he might be able to penetrate through those walls into the target. This is the Tier 9 tank destroyer with the most powerful penetration of all the Tier 9 TDs. It's got standard APCR, and look at that! Oh, 385 with that shot. Now, who next? It's a 105mm main gun, 390 Alpha, penetrating 308mm with the standard APCR, and with the premium rounds, which are also APCR, 350mm. What did that guy just do? He just leapt over the rubble the way he did and took a round because he did it. It slowed him down, and he's taken another round. 431, that's another high roll. So he's built up quite a total already, 1,355, and he's still got plenty of shells. Now, you don't get a huge number of shells, but you do get 50 rounds, and with this sort of penetration and that sort of fire rate, it is a fast fire rate. Standard reload is 8.25 seconds, and we can see here he's got 6.78, so very fast. And he's creaming these tanks. He's got up to 2,500 damage. And the game's only been going for about, well, 3 minutes? 2 minutes. 2 minutes! What is he going to do if he carries on like this for the whole game? Well, I think he's probably going to take most of the enemy tanks in the game. Well, S-Series tank. It was ordered in 1961, they were finished in 1963. This particular version, the O-Series, the S-Tanks came from Sven Burge. It was a unique design, actually. It was one of the prototypes that led on the way to getting the 103B and then the 103C when that came out. You can see it's incredibly accurate. Very steady gun, but that's because the gun is fixed mounted in the hull and it's steered using the suspension system to get it really accurately on target. Because the whole thing is very, very rigid, it's actually very, very good at aiming accurately. It's also very stealthy because, of course, it's very low. It's actually lower than most of the standard tanks. And they did use a variety of hulls and the armor, as well as a different drive mechanism. The engines were different on these tanks. Some were actually standard, ordinary diesel engines, and they also used turbines on some of these as well. This tank is a vast improvement on the UDA's 03, which is kind of like a mountain goat, but this thing was just miles better. It actually shares the same gun with the Strv 103B, this one, although it doesn't have as much armor as the 103B, which also has the anti-tank grates, the anti-heat grates, I should say, at the front of the vehicle to block any of the heat rounds that come in its direction. There's none of them in service now, but there are a few Strvs actually in the museums. There's one at the Tank Museum in Bovingdon. There's also one at Aslains, if I pronounce it correctly, the Swedish Tank Museum at Aslains. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they have a working version, which actually does go out on the parade grounds. In fact, I do believe that a certain American lady actually did get a chance to drive it. I think a lady from Portugal also got a chance to drive it. You probably know who I'm talking about, but I certainly know that that Sophie had a go in the Strv, and she's actually got a video of it on her website. Now, at this moment, there's 3 tanks holding back the enemy horde on the south end of the map. The Tortoise, an SMV, and also, as we can see here, Pacific Hero. And he's watching the gaps, just seeing if there's any chance he can get a shot. Oh, just narrowly missed the T-49, but if he takes another... He does go through the gap, and he got a hit, but it didn't go through, so it must have hit the tracks. Because, of course, the T-49 doesn't have much armor, so if he actually had connected, that would have been straight through his hull. Tortoise is coming up, so, yeah, he'll easily go through the side of the Tortoise. And there he is. Yep, right through the side. 401, that's a high roll. And I think he might still be able to get a shot on him. No, we're going for the Leopard 1. It's another one. He's now up to just under 4,000 hit points. And the game's now been going 6 minutes. We're 2 up on the enemy. And the enemy's been seriously depleted. Another one. That was close to the engine bay for the Skoda. And he's just going to keep hitting him because he's actually tracked. Going for the ammo rack. Oh, he went down, but we didn't get the kill, but we did get a low roll. You can't get a shot on the Iron Arnie until he backs up. No, there's a wreck there in the way. You've got to watch out for the wrecks. There you go. Oh, he's not loaded. Oh, he did get that one through. It did go through, so he got that one connected. Now, can he get that Tortoise? These tanks are suffering really heavily damage. He fires at the Leopard. He didn't get to the gap. Now we can hit the Tortoise again, but it's that reload's letting us down. Go for the... Yeah, that's it. Got the kill. He went for the machine gun turret. The weak spot on the Tortoise, even when it's looking at you, but he's still got it. So now he's up to 2 kills. He's running out of standard ammunition. He's going to have to start using the premium. He's probably racked up a nice profit from the standard shells. But now he has to start digging into the premium rounds because he's out of standard ones. But there's only 4 enemies left. Oh, we get this one. Well, he tried to the T-49 at long range, right on the other side of the battlefield. And the enemies just lost their last tank up in the north. The T-49 went south. There's an Iron Arnie down this end of the map. The other one's the Vipera. The T-49 we think's in the south area, but he's dashing about. There's the Iron Arnie pulling back, trying to retreat. So 5,500 hit points of damage, and he's been basically sitting on the same spot for virtually all of the battle, racking up a huge total. Hasn't lost a single hit point so far in this game. Not one. I think that might be about to change, but he's got plenty to exchange and trade with the Iron Arnie. Just doesn't want to get tracked if he can help it. There's the Iron Arnie. Now, go to work on him. He's going to siege mode. Yeah, he does take his first bit of damage, but the Iron Arnie is definitely going to go down because there's nowhere for him to go. And that went right through the side of him. And that killed him, so he's out of siege mode. Going after the Vipera, who's down in the trench. Just needs to get in view and then quickly get into siege mode. There's the hit, but he goes down. And the kill shot goes to the AMX 65 ton. And that is the battle won very well indeed by Pacific Hero. I think you can now see why this was such a good battle to keep. It was a first ace tanker for Pacific Hero 45 in the Strv 1030. Yes, you only get the scrolls underneath the first time, and this was the first time he got an ace tanker, or first mastery badge, actually, as he puts it. It's not really a first mastery badge. It's, well, this is the first ace mastery badge that he's got. But yes, it's an ace tankers. He managed a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 12. Got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and most of that was done on the same spot. And he also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And that's saying something, because it really does take a lot of effort to hit that many from the same spot as well. His win rate from the game, 10,677, which is super unicum and a lot more That's a very high score, especially for a first ace tanker in a vehicle, because it takes you a little while to work up to it. But once you get a game like that, yes, you know you're well on the way to getting 3 marks on it. Let's have a look at team score. Highest damage was 6,484 hit points in that game. Second highest damage was the Panzerkampfwagen 7 on the enemy team. He was playing up in the factories and he got 5,168 hit points of damage in second place. Third place went to the Chieftain Prototype, who actually got 3,435 hit points, and that was on his own team. When it came to kills, though, it was actually, Pacific Hero, 3 kills to him. 2 kills to the Chieftain Prototype, the Tortoise, and the AMX 65 Ton, and only 1 player on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was their Iron Arnie, yes, the one that he killed last in the game. And when it came to base XP, he's got 1,240 base in this game, 1,234 went to the Chieftain Prototype, and 1,190 went to the Tortoise. With in fourth place, the Pacifichero 46 managed 1,015. So that's 4 tanks managed to get over 1,000 base. But Pacific Hero really got the high score on that one, just followed by the Chieftain. That's a huge total, a very nice, comfortable total. He got 26 shots fired, 20 direct hits, 18 penetrations, 6,484 hit points of damage, of which 4,271 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see he was doing a long range game. He was playing the enemy as they kept coming out into the weak zones or the killing zone. He was then taking advantage of them. 2 hits received. One of those was from the Iron Arnie, the other one from Vipera right at the end of the game, but only one of them actually penetrated, the other one bounced, and I think that was the one that came from the Vipera. I think it was his one that bounced off the frontal armor, whereas the Iron Arnie was able to get a shot in at a decent angle, which worked. 400 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, 407 hit points of damage assistance. Now, on a premium count, he earned 197,493 credits from that game alone. He got a reward for completing the mission and events of 155,000. That's more than you get in some frontline games. But yes, he got that on his own in this game, which lasted only 8 minutes long. He also took away 6,510 experience points as well. Yes, and he got another award for completion of a mission in that one on top of that. So very well played indeed to Pacific Hero 45. Glad that you kept this replay, because it is a monster game that's played from virtually the one spot all the way through the battle. But he showed how he can cover a very wide area, and from that position he was actually penetrating the enemy on the south flank and holding them at bay, which meant that his teammates didn't have to do a lot of work to keep the enemy back, and basically he helped them win this game in a very big way. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.